Hey peeps, what's up? Manchi here, back with another video. And if you're wanting to start your cloud computing journey, then a very important concept which you should know is multi-factor authentication. So you might be using multi-factor authentication in your day-to-day lives already, but this video is for beginners. So when you go to a website and say you enter your username and password and you have access to it, right? That is your authentication. That is how the website knows that, hey, you are allowed to use this website or this email service. So username and password is just one factor. Just in case your email gets hacked, your password gets hacked, you're using the same password across multiple websites, one of them gets hacked, then the hacker has access to your username and password for say multiple websites. Now to avoid this situation, they decided to implement something called multi-factor authentication, wherein you need to provide two or more verification factors to let the website, the application, whatever you're trying to use, know that, hey, this is you. So multi-factor authentication is very important for your identity and access management. And just your username and password is not enough. You need to have something else. So we have like three things for multi-factor authentication. So the three things which you need to know could be are something you know. So your username and password is something you know. The next thing could be something you have. So let us say you have a smartphone and therein you get your OTP or one-time password as soon as you log into a website. So your smartphone is something you have, and then you have to provide that unique OTP to the website to log in. And then the third factor could be something you are. So let us say you have your smartphone wherein you are using your fingerprint scanner or you're using face unlock. So fingerprints are generally supposed to be unique, and the same can be said for face unlock as well. So that is something which you are. Now a typical example over here would be like, let us say you're trying to log into your banking website, you have your mobile phone registered with them. As soon as you try to log in, it sends you a one-time password which you then have to enter in the banking website's field. And once you enter that one-time password which you received on your phone correctly, you are then authenticated and you're allowed to access your bank account. Similarly, something which you are, the best example of this would be, say, hey, your iPhone is locked behind a face unlock, and then you're getting the OTP on the very same iPhone. So if you are not there, that is, if you are not in possession of your iPhone, then the other person will not be able to unlock your iPhone and thereby not be able to have access to that one-time code which you have received. So in this case, you are actually using three factors. You're using your username and password, you are using your iPhone's face unlock, which is something you are, and then you are using the messaging app on your iPhone to plug in the OTP which you just got into the banking website. So that is something you have. So these are all the three different factors which you are using. Something you know, username and password, something you have, the OTP on your iPhone, and then something you are. You're using your fingerprint or your face unlock to unlock the iPhone or your smartphone. So that's what basically is multi-factor authentication. Different factors being used for strong identity and access management. Now, there are some other examples of multi-factor authentication which you might have seen in your day-to-day life. So let us say you reside in Los Angeles, and then all of a sudden your credit card in the middle of the night is being used in New York, and the banking company just stops that transaction, blocks it, and tells you, hey, if you made this transaction, you let us know that you made this transaction, because as per us, you reside in Los Angeles, and in the middle of the night your credit card is being used in New York. So this is something which is known as location-based authentication. And then similarly, another example would be you are trying to log into your bank's website using your computer, but your computer is not connected to your home Wi-Fi. You're connected to a public Wi-Fi. Even in that case, sometimes you will notice that the banking website is like, hey, you are logging in from an unrecognized computer. So now to access your bank account, you have to answer the security questions which you had set up. So this is also another example of multi-factor multi-factor authentication. And herein also you're trying to access something which is super critical, but from a location other than what you have done in the past. So that is raising a red flag. And there it is, peeps. That is all you have to know about multi-factor authentication. Now, of course, your things which you can use for multi-factor authentication are, say, you can use an app on your phone, the authenticator apps which are there. You can use OTPs, you can have fobs or security keys provided to you by your company, or you can have software token and certificates. And as for something you are, the best example is fingerprints, face recognition, retina scanning, voice recognition, and other biometrics.